Some of their stuff is hot.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's Board of Trustees workshop on this October 22nd, 2025 at 9 a.m. I'm Mayor Mike Ferguson. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We've got guests this morning. If you got gentlemen want to come up and take the stand, you're more than welcome to do so. There's a microphone there for you. That's perfect. We've got folks from Bradford Lumber to present to the board this morning.
I'm Neil Walker with Bradford Forest. This is Sam Burns. Just here to, I guess, address some concerns about a possible timber sale that we marked on town of Fredonia property. There were some concerns about possible landslides, I believe, on that property, which is a concern with the soil types that are up there. I guess it has been logged before. There are old trails in there. I guess the timing of the sale would have to be the best part of it. Probably looking at next summer to do it. Unless we got a really hard freeze this winter, we would try it maybe, if it all came together. But probably next summer would be the driest. Pick a dry time and do it in there. We did some legwork and got it right away to use the old railroad grade to truck the logs in and out of. So a possible landing would be on the top of the hill in the highest, driest spot on the area that we're looking to cut. I guess we were just looking for any questions that you guys might have had. At the end of a timber sale, we can put as many water bars in and smooth the trails. Possibly go as far as seeding some of the skid trails to prevent water from eroding. That might lead to a possible landslide. It's always a possibility. Would we affect that in any way? I guess you could say we're taking some of the trees off of it, so yes, but it's been done before, I suppose. We have marked, on the steeper slopes, we've marked it a little bit lighter, so the trees will still be there. We're not taking as much, and we can actually exclude those areas if need be, if that's a biggest concern.
Yeah, all I was gonna say is, we, like John and I talked, is we set it up for like a harvest it in 10 years again. So 8 to 10 years. So it's a very select cut. It's more the over mature trees and the damaged trees is what we were gonna harvest. And to really promote growth and make a healthy forest. Right now it's an old forest. It needs a little kickstart. So that's really what we're trying to do, is bring light to the forest floor to really grow the residual.
Do you understand that by cutting down these old trees, invasive species will grow? And also, have you seen the map where it could produce landslides?
We have not seen the map yet.
Well, I think you should be informed because I don't think this is needed. I really don't believe, excuse me, I'm talking right now.
Go right ahead.
I don't believe that we need to have the old forest logged. We had people in here telling us about how important it is to keep those trees because they help filter the water and protect the forest. There isn't a need to cut down old trees so new trees can grow, because that's not true. The new trees that grow are not helpful at all. I think we should preserve our forest. And I really don't see anything that we would benefit from, especially with our drinking water up there. Our reservoir needs to be protected. And this is not going to protect our water, drinking water. by you coming in and cutting trees and creating a landslide. And I'm sorry that this hearing wasn't brought in front of the public. This is a workshop, this is a public meeting, but the public normally comes at our regular meetings on
They're
Monday
not the public,
night.
they're scheduled guests that we've had in during our workshop. This is when we bring them in.
I know, but
So,
I understand, but I'm
You've made your
saying-
point. Do we have
I'm
another
saying
trustee that would like to speak?
Excuse me, I'm not done.
Well.
Excuse me, Mayor, I'm not
Point
done.
about it is, this is
I'm
brought
not
here as
done.
our guest. They're allowed to do
I
that.
really don't think that you took the time to take a look at those maps to see what problems would exist.
We do look at soil survey maps. We understand that there is soils that are at a risk of erosion. That's pretty much everywhere. Different soils have different erosion factors in them. I mean, you get on a steep slope, there's
I don't
obviously
think-
more.
I don't think you understand how important those older trees are for the forest either.
To be
That's a
fair,
point of view, yes.
we haven't seen the overlay map to know what kind of past landslides there were in the areas that they're talking about cutting. We haven't seen that. We saw a general map, but not exactly where we're cutting. And how far away from the reservoir would you guys?
So you asked me that again, and I want to say, like, the nearest point would be, I think I measured it about 800 yards.
Okay.
And then from any stream, you know, we're about 100 to 150 feet from any, you know, stream. And then with that being said, as you get closer to streams, even though you're 150 feet away, like, you know, we try to not mark it as heavy, so to say. So, you know, you may be taking one tree here and there, you know, really, you're trying to save, you know, obviously the soil, the root structure and whatnot, and that's why you just don't want to go in and blast it.
Right.
But with that being said, is the amount of regeneration you have. You know, it's there, you gotta get sunlight to it and let it grow. So you have the root structure, the woody material in the ground already.
Are you going to plant trees in their place?
No, we don't.
Yeah.
Normally in the
Right.
Northeast, you don't plant trees.
Okay.
That's more of a southern thing.
Well, there aren't
Yes.
too many trees that will grow again that are the important trees that we have right now.
What's an
And
important tree?
Yeah,
an important tree would be the old growth forest trees. And if you didn't hear that from our speakers at
Well,
our last
I just
meeting,
wanna know
I
what
guess
your-
you just don't understand.
I just want to know what's your idea of an important tree. I didn't know there was trees that were
Yeah,
unimportant.
that's right, John. You weren't listening. What can I say?
That's exactly what I just said.
Yeah.
The area has been cut before. The old trails exist.
How long ago was that?
we don't know. I mean, you guys have
The old trails
documentation?
are in there.
I don't think we need to have any more trees cut.
25 years
All right,
ago
well,
or
we were
so.
getting-
I
we're-
don't
we were
believe
just
that
offering
this
this
is
as a-
needed.
Well,
way to
we'll hear from
profit
everybody
and-
else. Okay, is there anybody else that has a question about
A real quick
statement?
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you cut, what elevation relative to grade do you actually make the lowest cut?
Like,
It's
stump
for-
height?
Like, I believe you leave the stump, is that right?
Yes.
To maintain the root
The
structure?
the most
Okay.
valuable part of the tree is the butt log, the bottom
Right.
part. So we try to keep the stump as low to the ground as possible.
Like, what would that be typically?
It's usually under 6 inches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So the root structure and the stump is there.
all right.
The idea is to let light in and then
Yeah.
the other trees come
So the
out.
important point, I believe, is that you maintain the root structure.
Yes.
So as not to disturb the
Yeah, if you
integrity
cut
of the soil and,
Yeah, if you cut a tree down in your yard, that root, if you don't get rid of the stump and grind it out, that stump could be there for
oh, yeah.
years.
And
Right.
with that being said, by the time that stump decomposes, you've got a 60-year-old tree next to it that has taken its place.
Good
So
point.
kind of
you're
tree?
gonna
I know.
have woody material, matter that is, you know, not allowing landslides or, movement, erosion, for 50, 60, 70 years. And now by that time, you already have a tree taking its place.
Now, Sam, you had said that when you were out there, you had asked me why some of those trees were already marked, right? So 4 or 5 years ago, I think a prior board had entered in contract with Forcon that they didn't follow through with. So were the trees that you're marked pretty consistent with the ones that they had marked already?
Size-wise, yes,
Yeah,
but as many, no.
okay.
They went in there and they marked, you can almost say like they marked like 17, 18 inches DBH at breast height and up, and larger. So they were really marking it fairly heavy. Now what we did is like we talked is we want to manage your woods and have you cut it again, so use that 8 to 10 year mark. So we didn't mark as many trees as Forcon did.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we marked it as you could harvest it again in another 8 to 10, or what's left there, you could probably go back in as soon as we're done cutting and do it again if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Just so you have a continued profit from it and still allow for management.
I'm sorry, and I know, Sam, that you went into that other piece of property we have closer to Casadega. You said there's nothing in there that,
No, so that was, just by the looks of it, was logged very hard a long time ago. All the good was taken out of it. And also it's very wet. It's on the downside of Casadega Lake. There's just, it's not worth, putting a log skidder in there, a bulldozer in there to try to, pull out the 4,000, 8,000 feet that's in there. And that's where I said, just leave it and see what it does.
okay, thank you.
Ben, Paul, anything else?
So the important summary point, at least the way I understand right now, is we're going to share with you the overlay map. That
Okay.
it's important for you to see that, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah,
Are we in
absolutely.
agreement with that?
Yeah, sure. That
Okay.
was what we had decided kind of
Okay.
last time, so,
Okay.
yep,
Yep,
Thank
we're
you.
always available, so.
okay. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate the drive.
We good?
Yep, you're good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna grab my drink.
Okay. Move on to resolutions. Police, 375I Retirement, Chapter 674, Laws 2003.
I gave everyone a copy of the letter that we submitted to the PBA president when we were doing negotiations, where we offered that retirement plan to them when they accepted the agreement. So that's just to verify that that's what we agreed to.
Okay, and that's, you and I talked about that, and that could be amortized over 10 years,
Correct.
so.
Yeah.
And the other one that we're looking at would have been somewhere around $1 million, I think?
It was over $1 million.
Yeah.
And I think
And
wasn't
this-
that like at 3% or something like that? 3 to 6.
Yeah, and this is the one that we negotiated with the police department and, signed off on that, so.
Correct.
Any other questions on that? Second one would be Scott Marsh, consultant.
I don't believe we need to spend money at this time on hiring anybody else.
Well, we're not hiring him. He would be working as a consultant, much like Chris Serma did when we hired the new supervisor up at the water treatment plant. And there would be, if you've read the resolution, there are boundaries to it, how much we would.
I don't feel
Spend for-
comfortable hiring him back.
Okay.
And I don't know if you want me to talk about that in public.
No, just.
Nope. If you, that you feel like you want to feel, and the resolution will
That's
come up
right.
next Monday. You can vote however you feel like you need to vote.
And I think maybe the public needs to know why I'm against this.
Well,
Department reports, Code Enforcement Office.
Zoning board met last week and approved Crosby's setback variances. They're shooting for November's planning board meeting to be on the agenda.
When do they plan
Site
on
plan.
putting shovel in ground for the first of the year?
Well, we want to tear down the building and then, yeah, they want to get going right away. I think
Okay.
maybe April.
Will they be setting the pumps back too, or just?
No, pumps will stay.
Okay.
Don't put new tanks in, but the pumps will stay, and they'll just move the building back and make it twice the size. So it's going to be a nice project for the village.
I've seen their new builds. They're pretty nice.
Yeah.
They did a nice job.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Also, thank you to you and the DPW for taking down House on Berry. I believe that's 5 houses of that type that we've taken down in the last year and a half, so we
You know,
appreciate
one more
it.
thing.
Yes.
The candidates that are running for office need to look at our zoning law and the zoning law. I've seen some signs in right-of-ways that people are putting up, and it's probably not the candidates, it's probably the people that are working for
Yeah.
them. They can't go in right-of-ways, they have to be on the people's property. We will pull them, and if they want them back, they'll have to come here and get them, so.
Okay. So in scan, in case you're unaware of the spot he's talking about, between the sidewalk and the street, can't put the signs there, have to be on your property. So thank you. DPW.
Nothing really to report. We're gonna move into leaf season, getting leaf suckers ready, so if not by the end of this week, next week we'll be out sucking leaves.
Do you have a schedule for that, or just as
We
you?
started one at a time, just kind of make our way through and start back over.
Okay.
We'll be through.
Yeah, I know a lot of people had, my neighborhood put them up to the curb, and with the winds that we had, they're all back on my lawn now. So I'll make sure we get out there. The important thing to remember too, when you're doing this, and correct me if I'm wrong, don't blow them into the street. You're not supposed to be blowing them in the street. You can blow them to the curb. That's what they'll be sucking them up is. On your lawn, on the curb, not in the street, please. It creates little slippery conditions as well. So, thank you, Scott. Can you give us a start date when you end up doing that, so just so we can, not now, but when you go ahead and do that, or whoever's gonna do that? Okay, thank you.
Scott, I have a quick question for you. I did ask you a few days ago, the Vineyard Drive pumping station. I believe you said you have tested that some months back.
Yeah, it was ran 3 months ago.
Okay.
It works, we weren't at a level where we needed to turn it on yet. The
Okay.
reservoir's full now, so.
Okay.
We had a meeting, we talked to the county, we talked with, the town, the city, everybody.
Right.
If needed, we can flip a switch and turn it on.
Right.
We
But
just,
its capacity is very limited.
500 gallons a minute is the max we could get.
Okay. Thank you.
Fire department,
We've been busy, but other than that, nothing to report.
thank you. Police?
All I have is Officer Lawson is supposed to graduate the academy on Friday. He will graduate the academy on Friday. He's been training with us for about 4 weeks now, and he's doing well. As a resident, I think Scott did a great job on Gardner Street in Chestnut. I really, as a resident, appreciate that work,
Yeah.
but I have nothing.
And before we go too far, thank you, Scott. I want to thank you for your years of service. This is your last meeting. I didn't think of that until right now. So this is your last meeting as you retire on Friday. So thank you and your crew, and thank you for your leadership. We appreciate it. Recreation Department, we have a trunk or treat coming up.
Yes, and Angela did send a message out to everybody. It's going to be a little bit different this year. She's going to utilize the lower pavilion for the area where the people will be set up giving out the candy. And this will allow people to park in the upper pavilion area and also near the basketball and pickleball courts. And we just ask people to pay attention to the barricades which will be used to ensure the safety of the trick-or-treaters and keep moving vehicles out of the parking lot. And that starts at 11 and it ends at 1 p.m. this coming Saturday.
And we don't want cars driving down into it, so that'll
No,
be blocked off
correct.
and make sure that nobody goes down there, but it's,
But
it's
it will
good
be a
idea.
little different this year.
Yeah.
People will be able to park in the upper pavilion.
Right.
Because last year, a lot of people had to park out on the street
Yeah.
and walk down to Russell Joy
400
Park.
cars is a lot of people. So if you pull into the park and don't see the displays are down near the baseball field area, and everything. So, but we thank Angela for all the hard work she's doing on that. And her
Definitely.
team, she's got a good team of people. Wastewater treatment plant.
We have turned in our DMR QA 45 lab quality report to the DEC. That's complete. And we are currently doing the fourth quarter wet testing this week, and we'll be finished with that on Friday. And that's all I have to report.
Thank you, David. And of course, how's the screw pump doing?
I'm going to be talking with Molly either today or tomorrow and to get their findings with that, so we can get the report of what the next step would be to get that back in operation.
Sounds good. Water treatment plant.
Construction's underway for the chlorine project. They got everything all excavated. Right now, they had to stop due to the weather. But once it starts drying out, they should be pouring concrete. And also the spillways, well, the water's almost over the spillway, so the next couple of days I expect it to be flowing over.
Yeah. So we're holding off on lifting the conservation request because we are seeing some increase, but it's better safe than sorry. The creeks are running pretty good right now, but again, that's your team. We appreciate you and Scott and Department of Health for keeping everybody in line with that. And we want to thank the public for conserving the water. You could see a difference almost immediately. So I would imagine by probably the end of the weekend we'll be able to do that, but we'll be in contact with obviously you, Lewis, and also the health department. And we will send that out through emergency management and the health department. You will also get, I believe, a New York alert that it's been lifted. So, all right, thank you. New business.
Yeah, we talked about those 40-plus acres in Casadega, and obviously there's no value for us because we couldn't timber it. There's nothing of value in there, so I'm suggesting that we sell it. We'll never use it. It's been sitting there idle for I don't know how many hundreds of years, so I suggest that we look into selling it.
Any discussion on that?
I would like to keep it. I know there has been some mention about the possibility of drawing water from that area when our reservoir is low, and that has been done in the past, and I would like to keep that property because of this issue. I know Sam Dreo has let us know information about that, and I don't know if anybody wanted to discuss that or talk about that,
Yes.
about how it's been allowed before to have the water come into a stream and to be able to fill our reservoir. I think right now we should not look into selling that land because it could still be very valuable to us.
I think you need to talk to the Department of Health about why we can't use the water from Casadega, can't cross Continental Divide, and that the Department of Health and DEC would never give us the permit to do that.
And probably the reasoning why is that
let us use it before.
Because Casadega was using for their own water, which they aren't doing anymore. They pull from Mississippi. We pull from different area that's intermingling and intercontaminating the water. So that it was DEC and state order. It is not something that we made up. And there's paperwork to that effect.
DEC has allowed us to do that before.
In the
so-
past, 20 years ago,
In the
we used to have a
past.
full reservoir
Right.
too. 20 years ago, I weighed 100 pounds less than I do now.
Well, maybe we
This
should be
isn't 20
doing some
years ago.
dredging. Why don't we spend some money up there and fix it?
Because they still won't let us to take the water from Casadega. Nobody can take the water when you have drawing coming from different sources. You have different chemical makeups of both sources,
I don't think
and
that's
it's
the
been public
reason.
made. Well, that is the
Melissa,
reason. There's no other reason for
Could
it.
you prepare a resolution Monday?
And could you do me a
Personally-
favor, and you and I can
No,
work on finding
I
those
really don't
paperwork
think
that
we
can
should
take
sell
in.
it.
Then you can vote no.
I would be against selling it. I'd rather give it to the Watershed Conservancy personally, or keep it as a village property temporarily, at least until we're no longer using the reservoir.
And I would say at
But,
a time when,
I would agree
well,
with
last
that.
year, we looked at a 54% tax increase. We don't know what the rest of this year is going to look
True.
like.
But I'm totally opposed to a one-shot,
Okay.
a
I'm
one-shot
opposed to it,
fix.
too.
If we were able to sell it and mitigate our losses this year and not have to look at a sizable tax increase next year, then
I don't think that's really going to make up the tax increase, John.
You don't think so?
No, I don't. I
How much do
really
you think
don't.
you could sell 40 acres for?
Who would buy
Let's find
a
out.
wetland, a
Let's find out.
marshland?
Let's list it and find out
pay
who would buy
top
it.
dollar for it?
Let's,
I think you're absolutely crazy.
okay, that may be, but if you could make sure that
Yeah.
resolution's on for Monday, that'd be great.
Okay, any other new business? You know, when we're talking about foresting, by the way, I do want to remind people, you want to speak about what's crazy is signing a contract with Borcon to do that, and then never doing the work and never getting the money back. I'm not talking about wasteful spending, because that's exactly what was done. So, and the public did not recoup their money back from that decision. So, on to old business.
I'd like to talk about, as Trustee Wandel had brought up about Vineyard Drive Station. I really feel that it would have been necessary for us, even at a low amount of water, to receive from Dunkirk. It would be so important for us to conserve our water use from the reservoir, to open up that line and to supply some water to the village. And also, I still would like to look at those connections on Route 20 that were put in, and we were to receive water from North County Water District, but it never happened because we never had the water pressure valves put in. I don't know why they put that in. Was that just a one-way deal where we give them water, but we don't receive their water? Part of that deal was for us to receive water in times of need, which were close to what we needed just last week. But I still would like to look into that, to be able to have that opportunity to use water from the North County Water District on those two connections.
We could have turned the Vineyard Drive pump station on anytime we wanted to. The decision was made
And why didn't we?
because we didn't have to. Because why would we buy water when we didn't have to? When if it got
If it was an emergency.
excuse me, if it got to the point where there wasn't enough, right, where we didn't have enough to supply the village, we could have in a minute. It never got to that point. There was no use spending money buying water. At that time, we didn't need it, and we don't need it now. So why would we have spent that
I
money that
guess
we
we're
didn't
just
need?
going to disagree.
We have
Okay.
a chart that says when
Fine.
it gets to a certain level, we go to conserve, and then we turn Dunkirk on when it gets to a certain level. We never got to that level. We talked about it, we had multiple meetings, we knew what was going on. Now we're recovered and it's back, so the decision was why buy water.
I don't know why we didn't use it then. I'm
Because we
sorry.
would have to pay for the water that we already had. we didn't need extra water at that time.
Well, you made
Now God is giving us water,
emergency
we're good.
announcement that we had to conserve water.
Conserve water,
That was
not boil
my
it,
concern.
not anything else.
My concern was we had to be ready to
Right.
use the Vineyard
And we are
Drive
ready.
pump station.
Trustee Twitchell, if I
5
could make a
minutes.
recommendation, if you have and you obviously do, a problem with us not being able to receive water from the east and west connection, then I think you should get some information and prepare a report for us as to why that's not available and what we need to do to make that available.
Well, they didn't answer me last time when I asked, so I
I'm
don't know
just
how you
saying-
want me
I'm just saying, you have a lot of
to
questions,
create
go get them
contact with
answered.
somebody who will not talk to me. How about that?
Well, I contacted Supervisor Pecos, who said, you didn't get water from North County Water District because we never requested water from the North County Water District. Had we requested water from the North County District, they would have given us the water.
We did try
They can't
at
do
one
it because
point.
it's in the paperwork that we signed with them, that I didn't sign with them, that it's been signed a long time ago, that yes, they are an extra source of water. It must be requested by this board and the mayor for that to happen.
Correct.
It was never requested.
We did try to do that one time, and correct me if I'm wrong, Scott, didn't you say we tried to turn it on to receive water, and the water was pushed back
On
into
the west
North?
end, we tried it. and
Correct.
Our pressure was greater than theirs. Those
Correct.
connections were put in place in an emergency. If our plant was empty, then it could feed us with no pressure coming from the plant end. That's not the case. There would have to be a pump installed to override our pressure. If we didn't have any water in the clear well, then that would work.
And
The
that
way it's
pump,
set up on the west end, the east end has not been tested yet, but it's in operation, so we could give them water. We filled their tank.
That's correct.
On that end
We
of
did.
town, if valves are turned near the roundabout, they could actually feed the south.
the installation of the pump is not the North County Water's responsibility. It is our responsibility if we
I guess
wanted to use that.
I would have to look at that contract again and go over it with everyone so we could have a clearer understanding about it.
Anything else? Old business? Guess we discussed that, correct? Okay, is there anything else to be brought before the board at this time that is not on the agenda? If not, I ask that we go into executive session to discuss employment situation, DPW. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen, for your help.